test. I did test this all last night. I was live here on my own, like where I was the only one who can see myself and hear myself. But apparently that's not anymore the case, where everything that I tested last night went well. So again, happy birthday to me. So hi to everyone who's watching. If you guys are watching for some reason, I'm so sorry for all of the technical difficulties that we have right now. If let me know who is watching. If you guys are here, let me know in the chat. We've had so many technical difficulties in literally the last 4 minutes that I've been live. If you guys missed it, basically my microphone apparently isn't working, and that my camera broke twice. So this has been a very interesting thing to test and go around. So hi again. So take 5, take 4. This is going to be an interesting test for you guys to know what happens behind the scenes for when you're setting up a live on YouTube. So hi everyone, I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. I have been, since it's my birthday, I have been receiving gifts left and right, which is rare. Like this hasn't happened to me in ever in my adult life, where gifts just keep arriving, which I'm like super happy and lucky to all of my friends who have been sending me gifts. Like I have sweets. I have a ton of sweets. I have like an egg tart. I have my amazing boyfriend, got me flowers, this is my favorite flower, is the sunflower. So he got me a whole bouquet of them. So yeah, and it's just been very fun, very bright. So hi to the couple of people who are watching. Let me see if I can actually see you guys' names. No, I cannot, sadly. So it's okay. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me, if I'm loud and clear, if everything that I'm saying is making sense to everyone in this world. Let me just take a quick photo of myself right now as we are live, so I can post it on my YouTube channel. So yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me, if I am making sense. Let me chat a few friends to see if I'm making sense. Okay, so yeah, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing well. So what I've done is I've actually collected a bunch of questions that I get a lot when it comes to working online, like my journey when it comes to working from home. And I'm gonna just talk about them in the next 20 to 30 minutes ago or so, or maybe less if I have more technical difficulties, but hopefully not. So if you guys have no idea who I am, my name is Lai Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I have been working from home since I was 15 years old. I started out as a writer. I started out with any gig, literally any gig that I could get. I would sometimes become a graphic artist. I have become a video editor all before I was 18. I was someone's virtual assistant. So I have gone through like a lot of the stuff that people wonder, how do they get started when it comes to working from home. So I've really literally gone through all of this, the gig economy, kind of like that way of being the person who goes around, does different things. So let me move my camera just a tiny bit. Okay, so, again, hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I'm not just talking to myself. Right. Okay, so I can hear myself on my live, so I'm apparently clear, so that's very awesome. Okay, so yeah, hi Jackie. Thank you for helping me test out my live if it's actually working. So yeah, thank you guys for being here on this live. I was thinking, instead of putting out another video that I usually do on Sundays, I was just gonna come here live, without edits, without all of my fancy like text pop-ups anywhere, and kind of just talk to you guys one-on-one. So if you guys have any questions at all when it comes to working from home, let me know in the comments below. Feel free to use the live chat. You guys can hop on there. You can send emojis, you can send questions, send comments. And I kind of just wanted to hang out with you guys today. So today's my 25th birthday. So it's, quarter life. I'm now done with my early 20s. I'm now entering my mid to late 20s, which is crazy to say. But yeah, so let me do one more quick thing with you guys. I want to kind of invite as many people as I can into this weird live. So I am going to do something meta here, and I'm going to go live on my Facebook to invite people here, just for fun. Okay, so live now on my YouTube channel because I want to hang out with more people today because it's my one of my first birthdays that I'm not spending it at home with my family, and I have a quote unquote twin sister, basically a sister who was born on my sixth birthday, and I usually spend of course our birthdays together. But this is sadly one of those times where we aren't able to do that because of the pandemic, because I am someone who can be a little bit paranoid about just the things that are happening. So I've just been more and more careful. Um, okay, so I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm going to go live here on my Facebook so you guys can see. If you guys are coming from my Facebook, guys, I'm inviting you. I'm now live on my YouTube channel. You guys can use the link that I've put in the description. So you guys can hang out with me. You guys can ask me questions. You guys are able to kind of just hang out with this birthday girl because I literally am not spending my birthday alone, but not used to just being on my birthday. Like here in Cebu City, I'm usually spending my birthday in my hometown in Tacloban. So I want to invite you guys, if you guys aren't bored, if you guys aren't really doing much or doing anything today on my birthday, feel free to join me on my YouTube channel. I am now currently live. This is the first time ever that I'm going live here on my YouTube channel. So yeah, hopefully I will see you guys here. Thank you so much, Patrick, for the happy birthday. So I'm kind of like bothing this. I'm just gonna be live on Facebook and my YouTube channel, but I'm not gonna be here on Facebook for long. I just wanted to invite you guys into my YouTube. So if you guys aren't super busy, whoops, you guys might saw my closet there. If you guys aren't super busy, feel free to join me on my YouTube channel. Again, it's Lai Lacaba VA. So you guys are able to find me. So I'll see you hopefully inside of YouTube because it's my first time going live on YouTube. Okay, so hopefully it'll bring in more people. So hi, Jediah. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Basically, like I said, I'll be going through a bunch of the questions that I've collected in the last couple of weeks on how to work from home, on just how kind of my journey in the last couple of years, starting with as a writer, and now I have my own outsourcing agency here in Cebu. So that's been a fun ride, a fun journey. So hi, Patrick. Thank you for listening to me while you're editing. I really appreciate that. So yeah. So the first question that I get a lot is just how I got started. And I already kind of shared a little bit of, I did start out as a writer. I had a blog, not a vlog, not this yet, where I would post short stories. I would post articles. How about like, as a teenager, like I would post like my political views on my blog. And then there was this small little Facebook group, not that small, but kind of small little Facebook group that I would post whenever I would write a new blog post. I would comment on one of their daily posts where, if you want to comment, comment for comment, kind of those kind of things. And I joined one of those. And then basically, I got my first client from there. Basically, one of the Facebook members from that Facebook group said, "Hey, I really like your writing. Would you consider writing for my blog?" So that's literally how I got started. Someone sending me 100 pesos for a 500-word article because I didn't know how to price myself then. I priced myself 100 pesos for the article and I would send that to her every week. So I get 100 pesos per week. So that was already good, for a 15-year-old getting about 300, 400 pesos because it wasn't always every day that I would send her an article. But basically, that's how I got started. I'm like, oh, you can earn online, you can work online. That was basically the mind blown moment for me, because I didn't think that was a thing. I even have a scrapbook here somewhere that I brought all the way from Tacloban City, where I wrote in my scrapbook I wanted to have a job where I could literally work anywhere. That was my goal, was for me to move around. So it was going to be a journalist, I was going to be a newscaster, basically anyone who was paid to travel. And in my small life before, that's what I thought was the only way to be able to travel, was having a journalist job or a newscaster job. So, and then after that, I got a job as a new magazine editor for a local magazine, and I kind of really got to hone my writing skills at that point. Then the nonfiction part of my writing, because I was really working a lot on poems. I was reading a lot on short stories, and then I got to hone my skills in writing articles, interviewing people during that period. And I think I just turned 17 or 18 at that time when I got the magazine job, which was super cool. And then again, on the side, I was also doing some graphic work. I was doing some video editing work. At one point, my uncle paid me to be the videographer and video editor at the same time for their, I forget, 20th reunion for their high school. And I was just going around. I took the videos, I took the photos, and did the same day edit where I would create a video afterwards. So I have been collecting basically all of my skills in the last couple of years to this point now where I'm running an outsourcing company. So that's how I got started. That's one of the very common questions that I get a lot when it comes to just being me. The next questions that I got is basically how did I think I just have my list of questions in front of me. So how did I get started with my business? So for this job, I moved here to Cebu City on my own from Tacloban City when I was 18 years old. I didn't finish college because I had really bad PTSD. I didn't realize how bad it was at the time. I didn't realize how depressed I was until I got started getting help from my doctor, from my therapist basically, and I got a job here as a book editor. It was a book editor, so I would literally edit someone's grammar. It was the dream job for me as a bibliophile, to be able to, you know, um, read and get paid to read and just edit things and then throw errors out. So as a bibliophile and a grammar Nazi, it was the perfect job for me. So that was how I got started here in Cebu, because it was, although the job was work from home, the office, the quote unquote office, was here in Cebu. Like the boss was here, the managers were here. They were hiring mostly Cebuanos or people who were from Cebu. So um, I kind of, and that was 2014. And 2015, my boss literally said, okay, we're starting other companies now. We're now going to start, like, we had now have the software company. We're going to start another company. The first two people who were in the company at that time, you guys are going to be moving up and doing other things. Now who wants to run the publishing company? So that was literally the question of who now wants to run the publishing company. I literally said, me, sure, I'll do it. At that point, I was just manager. I just recently became a manager of one of the divisions, and I just said, "Me, I'll do it. Sure, I'll be I'll be a CEO of a publishing company where I don't have any experience about running businesses at all." So that's kind of how I got started, and then so in the last 5 years, because I actually became CEO September 30 of 2015. I've just learned a lot. I've just learned a lot about starting businesses, about growing businesses, about being someone who is seen as a leader, as being someone who has to have a stance as a leader. So basically with that, I have just grown a lot. And then 2 years ago, when the publishing company was at that point where it needed now someone else new in it so I can do other things, that's when I wanted to start a executive assistant corporation, because I wanted to start a service business. That was actually my goal, was to start a service business so I could hire more Filipinos to work from home. That was my goal. So when my boss said, okay, what do you want to do next? So the first step was that we had to create a course basically on how to have employees working from home. And that was supposed to lead people into our business to get to know us and work with us. So that's what we did. And then we got our first client because we were speaking in Singapore. And then he basically just saw us talk. We were presenting our course, and a few months later said, hey, I saw your speech in Singapore way back. I would really love to work with you. So like everything that we said, like we were going to use the course as the way to get people in our business. It did work. So that was pretty fun. And this has been in the last uh, 2 years, because we started the company 2 years ago. The last 2 years has been the journey of us having now a outsourcing agency where I helped business owners have an executive assistant who help run their business, basically, who is kind of their double. That's why our company's name is 2XU, because we try to 2XU. So yeah, so that's the story of how I started this company of mine, this little baby of mine. So far we have a few people who are watching, so hi guys, hi to everyone who's tuning in live, hi to, thank you Patrick for the effort support. Hopefully I'm doing really well on this live. This is my first time, like I said, and yeah, I'm hoping everything that I'm saying is making sense. um and yeah, I'm just trying to see if I'm hoping that more and more people will join, but you guys might be watching this on the replay, which is also still fine, which is also still well and good. No pressure at all to just keep watching me live. But basically, the other question that I get a lot now is more on tools. So on tools, a lot of people have asked me like, what tools do I use to stay productive, like to stay that everything makes sense. And I've mentioned a couple of the tools that I will say a lot. So one is Notion. I practically live on Notion. Um, so let me type that in the chat. Basically, Notion.so. That's the tool. That's the productivity tool that I love. Um, and I practically live on it because it's basically a Trello. If you guys have no Trello, it's basically where it's a you can see things and to do doing done. It's an Evernote, which is a note taking app, and Google Docs on crack. So it's really good. It's very customizable for me, and that is just everything that I have so much in my Notion. So I have like the videos that I want to watch, the YouTube videos I want to watch to learn more, the skills I want to learn. So I have a tracker of where I'm at in learning a certain skill that I want to learn. And then I just use Notion as also for my notes, of course, because that's primarily what I wanted to use it for, just to store like my study notes. And I have my notebook on in front of me right now. I also have like the books that I've read, the books that I love. So I rank them all inside of my Notion. So that's my productivity tool. So I'm going to drop it in the chat right there so you guys can check it out. It's free. I'm still on the free plan, even though I've shared it with my awesome assistant. So it's just something that is just pretty handy and pretty cool to have. It's just being able to use Notion. So yeah. By the way, do you guys have just any questions about working from home? Let me know in the comments or the chat, so I can get back to you. This is the whole point of this, is for you guys to be able to ask me anything live and not just have another YouTube video where I'm going back and forth with you guys. And again, hopefully everything is fine. I can see so far that I'm a little bit delayed just because I do, it's a live. So there is always going to be a little bit of delay. So let me move my camera a little bit forward. And let me zoom myself a little bit in. There we go. Okay. Okay. So this is, by the way, if you guys have no idea, I have my camera, my actual Canon camera hooked up as a webcam, which is super awesome. It's hooked up into my computer, and now that's why it's my like it tracks my face, and it's just pretty cool that I was able to figure that out when I bought this camera. Hi Ella. So for you guys who are tuning in, my sister Ella has we have the same birthday because she was born on my sixth birthday party was happening. She was born. My mom, she was born 11:55. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ella. And basically, my mom was cooking spaghetti, and all of a sudden she was being rushed to the hospital because she was going to give birth to my sister. So that is why I have a twin. I call her my twin because we're basically not the same person, but we meld so well together. And other than the nose, we kind of look like each other. It's sometimes confusing looking at baby pictures of me and baby pictures of my sister, and because we very much look the same. All siblings look the same anyway. So the next kind of question that I got, aside from tools, is internet connection. So basically, when it comes to working from home, especially as a Filipino, I have struggled with internet at different points of my life, especially when I'm traveling. So it's worse. It is the worst when I'm traveling, when I'm going around, because of it's not always sure that I have a good internet connection. So one of the ways that I have been able to account for that, one is I now have switched to postpaid. So my phone is actually a postpaid plan where I have 8 GB of data. So this is now forever my backup. Anytime I'm anywhere where I'm not sure I'm going to have Wi-Fi, I have my phone turned on as a mobile data, and that's my backup. So what if like you're really at a place where it's not good enough internet or not stable internet, then two things. So first thing is try to find a cafe or something that is called a co-working space. So co-working space is usually they have fast enough internet. You're kind of renting an office space-ish kind of office space with those people, and you get to use it for like 8 hours a day, or you can even rent it out for a week or a month or a year. So that's my first recommendation. If you have really bad internet and you're trying to work from home, is try to find either a coffee shop that has good enough internet or a co-working space, because the fun thing about co-working space is that you are able to meet other people as well, and also you kind of have the place where you can do Zoom calls maybe, or you can do videos like this one, is quiet enough usually because they set it up that way. So yeah, that's like my advice on the static internet with the Philippines. Other than upgrading, of course, you can always just upgrade your internet. But for me, like I said, I have my mobile phone. I have I know where in my head, like I know where the nearest coffee shops and co-working spaces here in my area are, which I'm pretty lucky that I live to a lot of them, next to a lot of them. So try to already find, as you're starting to work from home, try to already think of different ways that you can have a backup for your internet, because it's not always going to be perfect, it's not going to always going to be awesome. So just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so we have a question from She. So hi She, thank you so much for greeting me, happy birthday. Any tips on how to maintain a client for a longer time? So it always goes back to, are you working on something that they need to get done? It's always that. So there's a term that we like to use, which is indispensable versus irreplaceable. You want to be indispensable rather than irreplaceable, because a lot of the time when you're irreplaceable, either you will lose that job because it's now nothing, it's poof, it's nothing, it's they don't need that position anymore, or when you're irreplaceable, you become a bottleneck. So what that means is you can't take a vacation. That means that you can't call in a sick day because everything has to happen with you there. So if you want to have a client for the long term, you want to make sure that you're indispensable. So you're indispensable is you are always thinking of like, okay, what else can I do more? What else can I give more? Because when you do that, when you're always willing to go above and beyond, most entrepreneurs would love that. Most entrepreneurs see that. Like for me, for all of the executive assistants that I'm working with, all of them are always willing to go above and beyond. All of them are willing to, work 12 hours in some days because they know their client is doing a launch. And of course, they give themselves time to take that day off or take that rest time. So it's really thinking about, okay, now that I'm in this position, what else can I do to level up? What else can I do to be a little bit better each time? So that is the best advice that I could give about how to maintain a client for a longer time. Because if they're a good person, if they're a good entrepreneur, they will see that. They will see your effort without you saying anything. So biggest example is myself. Like I ask for feedback from my boss, but not always. I try to always just work and see myself like, okay, what can I do better? What can I do next? And I've been lucky because I now have this business that I have started with them, but now I'm running on my own. And at this point, I can literally, God forbid, if everything has closed, everything had to be, they got sick or anything, I can stand on my own. I could be able to still run the whole corporation even without them. It's scary to think about because, I've been running this with them this whole time, but I know I can get to that point because of everything that I've learned in the last couple of years. So if you want to be someone who is who is indispensable, not even kind of, you have to keep thinking in the way of how else can I do better? What else can I do better moving forward? Okay, so yeah, thank you so much, Sri, for that really awesome question. Let me know, guys, if you have any more questions. I still, like I said, I did a poll the other day on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and on my YouTube channel, and I have a bunch of questions from you guys. So I'm just going to go through them. But if you guys do have any questions, I'm going to ask me more questions, basically. If you guys do have more questions, let me know in the chat because I would love to just kind of help you guys in some way. What is a small thing that I can answer from you guys today that will help you move forward in your job, in your career? I would love to help you guys with that. So the next question that I got was, what is a con or what is a negative when it comes to working from home? And I thought this was a really interesting question. And this was actually asked by my coworker, where basically when it comes to working from home, the bigger cons is, one, you have to take care of yourself. You have it's kind of like being free of something, but now you have to be responsible for that freedom. You're free of the office, you're free usually of the hours even, but you now have to be responsible for those hours. You have to be responsible about yourself. That's the biggest quote unquote con that I see that a lot of people really have a hard time adjusting, is that they have no idea what to do with themselves now. Do they ask their boss every day what to do next? Do they, figure out themselves? It's finding that flow that is, I think, that is one of the biggest struggles for people when it comes to working from home, because of that part where you are now responsible for yourself. No one else is going to tell you what to do. No one else is going to berate you to get things done, to do this, to do that. So I think that's one of the biggest ones that is frustrating for different people, especially if they've never done it before, especially if they've been on an office job for 10, 20 years. It's kind of really jarring. That's the biggest con that I see, or negative that I see when it comes to working from home. And another one that I see is you are now also responsible for your equipment, like your laptop. You're the ones who's supposed to be buying that. Your notebooks, whatever other tools that you need to work on, you will have to buy that on your own. The other thing though is you might find clients who are going to be more than happy to lend you a laptop. For me, we've created our company to be that way, that if anyone who comes in our company who is super awesome but doesn't have a laptop, we actually loan them a laptop. Or if they've been a while, they kind of just can take it home and they can pay it off slowly. So there's like different options. So you are, when you're working from home, you are responsible for your own equipment, for having your own stuff. They're not going to be babying you and giving you everything right away, unlike if you were in an office, an actual office. So that's another con, is you're more just responsible for your equipment and your tools. So yeah, hi Nisley. Again, guys, feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to kind of let me know in the chat or the comments any other questions that you guys have about working from home, about having an online job. I can't believe it's been 10 years actually since I got, started. I don't even, like, I tried to find it the other day, like the first job that I got, the first PayPal job that I got, PayPal payments, I mean, and I couldn't find it anymore because I think it was on my old email I had, and you guys will laugh, but my old email was leannelovesyou at gmail.com. So, and that was 12-year-old me. And I've lost that account now. I have no idea where that the password and all of that. So I couldn't access it. I tried to access it, but yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to find what was the actual date that I started working online. But I knew it was 15 because that was when I graduated from college, and that was in the summer of college, before college, I mean, that I did start working. So that's what I remember very clearly. She's asking, "What's your birthday wish?" Sorry, out of topic. No worries at all. Well, my birthday wish, okay. So you know how people say don't say your wish out loud or it'll never come true. I don't believe that. I believe that if you have to say it, what you want to the universe, you have to claim it. You have to believe that you can get it. Because if you don't believe you're good, you're never gonna get it. So my wish actually earlier, because my amazing boyfriend surprised me at midnight, knocked and came to my room with birthday cake, and again this beautiful, lovely bouquet. The wish that the first thing that popped in my head is usually New York. So that's always the first thing. It's been consistent in the last couple of years that I always wish to go to New York. But the second thing that I wished for, is to have my own apartment. I actually really wish to be able to save up enough, and I am, to get my own, like, start paying off, quote unquote, adulting way of my own apartment, of my own place, where I can decorate it as much as I can, as much as I want. If you guys have noticed, I've changed my office so much in, in just 2 days and 3 days, because I tend to do that when I'm bored. I tend to just redecorate my whole room. So I want to have my own place. I want to save up to get on my own place, so I am able to do that at any time. And also, it would be nice if my family, whenever they come to visit to Cebu, they don't have to rent a hotel. They can just go into my condo and stay there. So that's kind of part of my plans. Okay, so we have a few more questions. How do you see yourself 5 years from now? What is your VIAG? That's a very interview question. So, um, in 5 years, I'll be 30. Yeah, I'll be 30 in 5 years. In 5 years, my goal is to be able to keep growing this corporation, the REA, the remote executive assistant, but also to start another business. So that's always kind of what I like to do. I like starting businesses, getting them stable, and then starting a new one. I'm not the most I'm not the most reliable in, once I have it growing and I kind of get bored, I kind of drop off, which is, I know, kind of bad, but that's what I found out within myself. That's part of me finding, like, I thought I was going to be running the publishing company for 10 years and I got bored after 3 years. So that is something that I had to learn and get into that point. So in 5 years, my goal is to get this company that I have, that I started right now, stable enough so I can have someone else take over and then start another one. I'm not sure yet what that would be. I think it's going to be focused a lot on content, basically just content marketing or content creation. I think that might be. I'm not 100% sure. That's what I'm hoping to start, but that's where I see myself 5 years. Just getting this business stable and then getting another one, and having that new business be in another location. That is my goal, is to have it in another country, not just stay in Cebu, but also move to another country and start a business there. Again, it doesn't have to be that I'm just there. It's another remote business where everyone's working from home, everyone's working online. That is my next goal for the next 5 years. And my BHAG, my own big, hairy, audacious goal, is to start eventually a corporation in the US, where it's based in New York, and it's still a service business, basically, where I can hire more Filipinos to be able to work from home. They don't have to leave their family, because, and the person who I inspired me, that is actually watching, my dad, because my dad has been, for most of my life, he has been working as an OFW. It wasn't actually until recently that I've already been here in Cebu, that he actually left his job. So for most of my life, I never saw him more than twice or thrice a year. And I got inspired of that. Like, if more parents were able to work from home, they don't have to go through what I went through, where I miss my dad a lot of times. I miss you, dad, right now. So that is kind of my, oh my God, my parents are now in the chat. So that is kind of my BHAG, is to be able to start that corporation in New York, so more and more families are able to work from home. They can choose, to leave. They can choose to work in another country. That is now their own choice. But that is my eventual goal in the long run. Um, uh, we had a good hi, LJ. Okay, so my family is now in the chat, guys. So anytime you see Lacaba, that is my family. Patrick is asking, what is your handa? So funny enough, I have been on one meal a day for a year now. I have been eating, at least I've had, of course, cheat days. I have days where I just let myself eat when I'm too stressed or I'm too hormonal. I take care of myself first. But I've been on that, like, one meal a day, and I just had Jollibee, and that was kind of my whole plan for the day. I just had Jollibee, and that's kind of it, which is not the best. But at the same time, I do have, like, I have had friends send me, like, this is from Carmela. This is from my friend Carmela. She sent me an egg tart, guys. She sent me 9 egg tarts, and I also have a cake that my boyfriend gave me this morning. I also have pastries from Disley. I have 2 cheesecakes and a couple of macaroons. So I have a ton of sweets. I guess that counts as my handa for my birthday, as what I'm preparing for my birthday. But other than that, I'm planning to go up to the mountains later, to take some pictures, to kind of have a little coffee. I've only invited, like, a few friends who have a car, who have a ride, basically, because it's up the mountain. And we're just gonna hang out there for the rest of the afternoon until the full moon, because it's still full moon on my birthday, which is pretty awesome. So that's kind of like what I have planned on my birthday. Yeah, there you go. There's my family. My mom is asking, "Do you have a boyfriend?" Yes, mom, I have a boyfriend. He's in his room right now. So, my uncle now. So my uncle's Bambi. So if you guys, just so you guys know, thank you so much, family, for supporting me, for watching this vlog. Ramen Dojo. Yes, I miss ramen. I haven't had ramen in so long, and even when I do have ramen, I can't eat all of them. Yeah. And so now it's not just my family populating the chat. So thank you so much. Any other questions, guys, about working from home, about me? Maybe you can ask me questions about me. As you guys can see, I'm pretty open. I don't really keep a lot of secrets. I'm pretty open. But by the way, I have a happy birthday. I almost forgot that was there because my head's covering it. But I have a birthday balloon right there for my boyfriend also. So yeah, another question that I got. So I'm just gonna go through. If you guys don't have any questions in the comments, I'll just kind of go through. In Like I said, I collected a bunch of questions. Another question that I got is, how often do I travel? Like, how do I travel and still work online? So the answer to that is basically, when before the pandemic hit. So like in the last 6 months, I haven't been able to travel anywhere. But before, I actually did travel at least once a month. That was what I did. I wanted to get out of the city once a month. I wanted to out of the country at least every 6 months. That was kind of what I did, and I was able to achieve that a lot of the time. Like since 2016, I have traveled outside of the country at least twice. So that I've been able to reach that goal. So for me, whenever I'm working while I'm traveling, I always try to manage all of my tasks beforehand. I try to organize them to so that makes sense. That I can't that I know, because for me, I'm a scary person to travel with, guys, because I plan everything. I will like have 10 things that I want to go to in one day. So I knowing that about myself, I will plan. I know that I'll plan like in the morning, I'll work for an hour, and in the evening, I'll work for until maybe sometimes midnight. So it really depends on how early I want to wake up the next day. So knowing that, I will organize my tasks per day based on how many minutes. So if you guys heard of the book Getting Things Done by David Allen, that's what I follow. So I assign a number based on I know how long it usually took me to do a certain task, so I can organize myself that way. So I'll put like tasks that are 10 minutes I'll do first, so then it's done, and then tasks that are taking 30 minutes to 60 minutes I'll try to do in the evening where I can just go into the zone. So that's what I try to do when I'm traveling at the same time working. So yeah, where can we find the best lechon in Cebu? I tried a bunch when we had the trip. Okay, so this is the thing about living in Cebu is you get to try a lot of lechon. If you guys search Mike Chen, who is a oh my god, for some reason I have the logo Strictly Dumpling. If you guys search for the channel Strictly Dumpling, that's Mike Chen. I actually was able to. He was here because he was one of our business partners. And when he came to Cebu, he invited us to be part of his vlog. So we took him around Cebu. We took him to the usual best places for lechon. If you go to Karkar, and that's here in Cebu, it's not Cebu City, but it's 1 hour away from the city. That's where you find the best lechon, because that's usually where the native lechon is. Like those are the ones like really like huge lechon, and they're usually super crispy. They're not as spiced. That in the sense where you can now just dip it in vinegar if you want, or you can add more salt. But it's for me at least it's one of the best lechon in Cebu. Like just going to Karkar is worth it. Plus, you can always buy chicharron from there, or the fried pork. Yeah. Patrick, you saw that. Yeah. So yeah. Shay asks, what was your first online job? How many positions you had before you became CEO? So I already mentioned this earlier in the earlier video, but basically I did start as a writer. I started as an article writer for someone else's blog, and I mentioned I did video. I was a video editor, a graphic artist. Actually, mostly a graphic artist for my mom, who's watching this. I also became a writer for a magazine. I became a journalist. Actually, at one point, I actually did become a journalist. So that's what I say. Don't keep your secrets to your wishes to yourself. Don't keep your wishes as secrets. Actually, say it into the world, and you'll see amazing things will happen. I became a journalist, didn't like it. And then I became a book editor. So that was the job that I became CEO towards. I became book editor. I became a marketing assistant. I became head of marketing. So I really went through like the steps. And then from head of marketing, I started learning HR. I started learning accounting. So I started learning like a lot of the different skills from that, head of marketing, because I had to learn how to track data, how to make sure that I'm not overspending. So I went through all of that. And then basically when at that point when I was head of marketing, that was when my boss asked me like, hey, or not me, like ask the group of people, ask the group of managers, like, hey, who wants to run the publishing company next year because we're now starting a new company. I just said, yeah, I'll do it. So that's kind of like the path I took to become CEO. And then 3 years later, I started my own business with the same bosses, but it's mostly kind of me independent. They kind of just gave me the resources already to get started. Plus, I really like working with them. So that's those are the different paths that I took to become CEO. Um, yeah. Uh, Thank you so much, Mix. Jackie, you're getting hungry with the talk of lechon. Yeah, well, that happens. If you want to buy lechon, by the way, Jackie's my roommate. She's literally in the next room. If you want to buy lechon, you can buy lechon. I'm probably not gonna eat it because as someone who's been living in Cebu in the last 6 years, I've had so much lechon. And also, I'm from Tacloban City, where they also have really good lechon. So I'm good. But if you want to order lechon, I'll probably steal a skin of that. Um, yeah. Any other questions? I like the mix of questions. I like that there's work from home questions. I like that there's questions about Cebu. I like there's questions about me. Mostly the questions about me is from my parents. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end this live around 12. So I'll do like a whole hour. Since we're here already, I was just planning to do 30 minutes, but since you guys are here, thank you so much. Um, I guess the other question that I get a lot with working online, working from home is how do I run this whole business online? How do I run this whole business remote? Where for some of the employees that I've worked with, I actually have not seen in person. But before I answer that question, I'm going to grab myself water because I've had so much sweets. Like I said, I have a birthday cake, I have egg tarts, I have a lot of other things. I still have this from G, who's one of our amazing assistants. So I'm just gonna grab water. And I should have had this beside me. I usually have this beside me, but I what was I doing before this? Oh, I ate cake before this live. So so my uncle is now on also. What is your name and why? So my name is Lai Lacaba. The why to my name is my daddy's name is Leonardo, so the Lee is from him. My mom's name is Romana, so the Ann is from her. I have a dash in between because I'm the connector to both of them. The Lai is coming from my godmother. Her name is Laiden. How do you say that in English accent? And she was the one who introduced my mom and my dad. They became pen pals. That's why my name is Lee and Lai. My last name is Angeles Lacaba. Angeles is for mom. Lacaba is for my dad. Okay? See, I'm willing to answer literally any questions, guys. Whether that's a funny one from my own uncle. So, yeah, just feel free to drop any in the chat while I drink more water. By the way, do you guys want me to play ukulele? I thought of doing this during live. Again, I wasn't planning to stay this long, but I'm having fun talking to you guys and being fun, hanging out with my own family also at the same time. So if you guys want, I can grab my ukulele in a little bit and I can play some songs because I know how to play the ukulele, the guitar, the piano, and a little bit of the it's not beatbox, right? I forgot what it's called. The box thing, the drum box. I have no idea. Guys, help me. But yeah, that's I know how to play those. So if you guys want me to play my ukulele because it's the only instrument that I have. I don't have a guitar. I don't have a piano as well. I can play a few songs for you guys. Let me know. Okay, so let me check this. I went the other way and I now have lost all of the questions. Where was my questions thingy? Where are my questions? Okay, so basically, I tried to remember some of them. I have a pretty good memory. So one of the questions that I remember getting was, oops, I just burped. This is what you guys get when it's unedited, is you guys get my burps. If my awesome assistant Christina is watching, I'm not sure she is, but she gets sick sadly. She edits out my burps. Like when I'm talking, I think I inhale just a lot of air during my videos that she edits out my burps. So you guys are now catching my burps live. So books that I recommend. So the first books that I always recommend when you're starting out working online or just self-development is Mindset. It's called Mindset by Carol Dweck. That is the first book that I recommend. Next is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is by Carnegie. Forget his first name. But that's the next one, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The next one is 1 Minute Manager, because that will teach you how to give and receive feedback. So that will really help you as a coworker, as someone who has a career, who's working with other people. 1 Minute Manager, that's the next book that I recommend. And now that I'm reading it, for anyone who wants to be better at their finances, because I'm reading this right now, I'm halfway through the book already, The Richest Man in Babylon. And the reason why I recommend this is it gives you really good basics on your financials. Like right now, like I said, one of my birthday wishes is to have my own apartment. So that means that I have to save up. I have to learn how to make more money, which involves like doing YouTube. So for me, I have to now upgrade my, the first thing that I read to up my financial like knowledge was reading Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki, and now I need more. Just what else do I need to do next to make more money? So I'm reading The Richest Man in Babylon, and it's now just giving me more information of what else I can do with my money, with how to grow that, so I can get to the point, like I said, I can get my own apartment. Yeah. So you read Richest Man in Babylon? That's awesome, Patrick. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so those are the books that I first recommend if you are starting out, being someone who is a little bit more self-aware, just being more self-development, because it really does help you be to be able to give more. Like earlier, we had the question of how can I have clients long term? That's how you develop yourself, you grow yourself. That's actually one of the pieces of advice here on the book is seventh cure to, they call it the seventh cure to a lean wallet, to basically a really a thin wallet, is increase the ability to learn. That is one of the advices here. It's actually the last advice here, is that basically gold or money is nothing if you don't know what to do with it. That's why I'm learning. So it's by learning, it's by growing yourself, it's by doing more stuff to be able to develop and increase your own worth, your own self-worth also. So yeah, that is those are the books that I super highly recommend with anything when you're starting out on learning. So yeah, Arcad. Yeah, so you have read Richest Man in Babylon. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm getting more birthday wishes. Yay! Thank you guys. So we're now down to our last 8 minutes. So any other questions, guys? Let me know in the chat below, or else I'm just going through the all of the questions that I got before. So one of the questions is what are the courses that I'm currently studying? Because I'm always studying. I have like 5 courses open on my browser right now, which is bad because I try to keep it to at least just 2. But I have a course right now that I'm studying. I actually have where's the thingy? I have because I try to do printouts. I love printouts. I love printing out whenever there's a workbook, I print out that workbook. So if you guys want to sell me a course, make sure that there's a print book. Because I will probably buy it if there's a print book. Okay, so recently I finished Think Media's course. So I just finished their course on video making. So I bought that a month ago. I already finished it, and I've just kind of go through it. I try to reread or re-go through courses I've already gone through because it always helps me a lot. And I'm currently studying Boss Gram Academy by Vanessa Lau. I got this in June, and I'm almost done. But basically that's what I've been doing to develop my coaching program, my programs in general, like my courses and stuff. That's what I've been studying. And the other courses that I'm studying right now, I am studying 1 Minute Facebook Ads by Dennis Yu, because I want to start creating more like small bite pieces of content for my Facebook, not just I try to, as you guys know, I try to be everywhere. I try to be YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest. I try to be everywhere. So I'm trying to learn more and more about the Facebook platform, and obviously about the YouTube platform. So yeah, those are the courses or the things that I'm currently studying. Like I said, I have 5, which is bad. I have another one where I'm basically stalking someone else's course. I'm going through how they did their course so I can see what else I can do. So I'm going through a social media course, even though I've studied a ton of social media courses, just because I want to see how they were able to construct their marketing. So that's one of the things that I do as a marketer that I love doing is, I call it funnel hacking. It's actually, I got it from someone else, where you go through someone's funnel. You go through their how they market it to people, like what is the top of their funnel, like seeing a Facebook ad, seeing a YouTube video, having you buy a first thing, buy a first small thing, and then going through that until to the point where you sell them something that's 100,000 pesos. So I've been doing that with other people. So I've been stalking some people. So that's why I have like 2 other courses I'm not going to mention to you guys, because it's more for my marketer brain of seeing like how other people market their courses. So yeah. So shh, don't tell anyone, guys, because it's a secret. I'm just trying to figure out where I kept all of the other questions, because I should have put them in one place, but I do have them in different places right now. So yeah, let me know any questions that you guys have, any curiosities, any else that you guys want to know from me, learn from me. And I think if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll try to close this out with a song. I don't know what song. Let me grab my ukulele. You guys can do like song requests, I guess, while I'm gone. Okay, so this was actually a birthday gift as well from my boyfriend. They gave it to me 2016, and I do try to play with it once in a while. Hopefully it's still in tune. Um, but if you guys have any requests on songs, I guess. Um, some of the questions that I got were kind of over and over. So I'm not going to go through all of them today because I might be able to do a YouTube video on them. So, yeah, so Patrick said the happy birthday song. So I'm going to search the chords to that because I don't know the chords to happy birthday, which is that is a fun idea to do. To actually just do a happy birthday song. Let me see if I can play that. Okay, so let me check if it's on tune. Okay, so let me see. So I'm just basically just sing myself happy birthday, right? That's basically what's happening. Um, as we close out this birthday live. So I think it's here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. And one more time. Okay. Happy birthday to me. Sorry, day to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. All right, so that is kind of closing out unless you guys have some sort of other request. Um, but yeah, I can play. I can. You guys should always be learning. That's always something that I try to instill in any students that I have, in any clients that I have. Is you should always be growing. You should always be learning. So that's why I know the ukulele for random reasons. I think I learned it in high school, but that was me wanting to always learn something, to always grow. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope you guys enjoyed this. For those who have stayed over, thank you so much, guys, for staying over and watching and asking your questions. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments because I will be going through them. I'll be answering them if you guys do. And yeah, I hope you guys just enjoyed celebrating my birthday with me. Thank you so much for everyone who has greeted, who has says happy birthday. Thank you so much, Michelle. And I'm grateful for this channel. I'm grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that I'm growing this, even on times where it's a little bit harder for me to upload, to create videos, especially when I'm not feeling well. Like this whole week, I had a headache, but I was still able to be better today for you guys. So yeah. Thank you so much, Patrick. So yeah, this is my first YouTube live. I am planning actually to go live again on Thursday. This was more of a test. So you guys, if you guys were here on the first few minutes that I was here, I lost video, I lost microphone, I lost like everything. So hopefully you guys will be able to join me on Thursday, still 11 o'clock. I'll go live again. I'm going to be talking about how to get your first side gig as a content creator. So if this is something that you guys want to do, make sure to catch me on that day. Again, that's this Thursday at 11 o'clock Philippine time as well. And I hope to just kind of see you guys around. Thank you again for the people who have been watching, who have been tuning in, tuning out. And thank you so much, Patrick, for being so active on the chats. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. And remember that small steps matters. And I'll see you guys on Thursday on the next video. Bye.